Today in this video we will be seeing about consensus and its interaction with the architecture layer. So what is the meant by consensus? Just an introduction. It always refers to the process through which distributed system agree on a single source of truth. So it is an algorithm which is used to check the transaction validity or truthness of the transaction. It plays a vital role in data integrity, especially when multiple stakeholders are involved in a transaction. In order to find the truthfulness of the transaction, this particular algorithm is very much useful. This mechanism includes three types of algorithm. One is proof of work, one is proof of stack, another one is practical fault tolerance methodology. So each one has its own unique advantages and disadvantages too. Based on your application and security need, the type of mechanism can be used. The application scenario where this particular consensus algorithm can be used are the various applications like Bitcoin, Ethereum to distributed databases, cloud services, where we have to ensure the trust and reliability. Wherever we want to ensure the trust and reliability, we can use this consensus algorithm. Coming to the application layer, architecture layer overview, why it is mainly needed. For understanding the architecture layers, it refers to the various levels of system architecture. We know that in system normal network architecture, we have various types of layer. Each layer performs its own application. So we have to understood how we can map our blockchain technology to that particular system architecture. And the second one, how we can establish a relationship between our consensus algorithm. Each architecture layer interacts differently with this particular algorithm. So based on the application and the need for the application, the interaction should be made. The layering enhances the modulation and scalability of the system design, because if anything fault occurs, it can be easily tracked back and it can be rectified if it is being layered. So this is the simple architectural view of the blockchain combined with the system layers. We have consensus layer, hardware layer, data layer, network layer and application layer. So in hardware layer, we will be having our miners, nodes, ASICs, CPUs, where these people will be working on in order to get the bitcoins for their transactions. In application layer, smart contracts executions will be taking place based on the decentralized apps. In data layer, all type of transactions will be taken into considerations. Apart from that, the ledger entries will be taking place in the data layer. In network layer, it will be taking care of the internet communications, protocols, all stuff which are related to our network for which the transaction will be doing. Conscious layer will be there, as I said earlier, proof of work and proof of stack. Those algorithm execution will be taking place in that particular layer. Okay, we have seen various types of layer. Now we will see how our particular algorithm will interact with each layer separately. So in case of application layer, in the conscious algorithm, it directly impact the user experience. Okay, so in application layer only, it will be just transferring the transaction confirmations, all those details. If it is very slow, then the transaction confirmation will be also very slow, which will be affect our user satisfaction. And then the execution of smart contracts also will be taking place in the application layer. It allows the stakeholders and the contractors to interact each other in order to ensure that the contracts are being executed securely and reliably. And scalability issues are there in case of application layer. When the demand increases, then the need for effective mechanism will be which will be needed in very large volume. which obviously degrade the performance of our application. This is a simple diagrammatic view how the conscious layer and application layer will work out. In application layer, the smart contract part will be taken into consideration along with the methodology of decentralized application DApps. In case of conscious layer, will be taking care of the network transaction finalization and then validation of the nodes, etc. Once the nodes are validated, then the transaction finalization will be taking place in this particular layer. Next comes our network layer. How the conscious algorithm will interact with the network layer. Here we will be taking care of, in network layer we will be taking care of data propagation, any fault tolerance is there, bandwidth which is required, etc. In data programs, when the large amount of data need to be transacted, the network layer will be effectively tuned in such a way that it will speed up with according to the amount of data to be propagated. The fast tolerance should be there, since the strong network protocol can improve a system fast tolerance and avoid split brain scenarios. The choice of the mechanism will influence by availability of the bandwidth in the network layer. This is the simple diagram which shows the blockchain interaction between the consensus layer and network layer. In network layer, the nodes are discovered, peer-to-peer communication is being established. After that, the data propagation is being done between the peers. In case of this particular layer, the transaction validation is done. Apart from that, agreement is being validated based on proof of work or proof of stake. Now next comes our data layer. In data layer, the overall data integrity is being taken into consideration. When there is an heavy flow of data from one network to the other network, then the integrity becomes a big question mark, which also affect the trust and efficiency of the system. So the overall, the data layer will be taking care of the data integrity, storage solutions, etc. So this is a simple diagram which shows how the data layer will be combined with the conscious layer for working purpose. In data layer, it just stores all the transactions, it organizes the blocks, it uses the cryptographic hashing methods in order to prevent the intruders to come in. In case of conscious layer, along with the data layer, it will go for a validation check, validating the transaction obviously, and it avoids double spending and achieves the network agreement. We have seen how these layers are working, how these layers combine together and work. But there are few challenges which need to be taken into consideration. These are scalability issues. When the transaction rate is very high or volume is very high, then obviously the efficiency of the particular system will go down, and the energy consumption is very high since we are using large amount of algorithm for validations, etc. Since the sustainability or renewable energy alternate can be developed in order to address the environmental concerns. Security threats are often there for conscious algorithm. So ongoing researchers are focusing on enhancing the security protocols for this particular networks. Hope in this video you would have understood what are the different types of layer and what are the works which are being done by those layers. Thank you.